What's up, everyone? We got one more day until the Super Bowl, and obviously we got to do a prediction for that. There's only one prediction, so we're going to go pretty in depth with it, obviously, so we'll hop right into it. And before we hop into it, the AFC NFC Championship, I went a record of 1-1, getting the Rams and Seahawks game right, but the Broncos and Patriots game wrong, putting my total playoff record at 9-3. And I'm not going to shout the curse wheel this week just because I just don't feel like it. So yeah, we're going to hop into the game. It's the Seahawks and the Patriots. You know, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 49, one of the best Super Bowls ever. You know, this one's, I think it's going to be pretty good as well. You've got, the Seahawks as 4.5-point favorites, the over-under at 45.5. And I personally think that the Seahawks are going to win 24-20. I don't think it would be that shocking if the Patriots ended up winning this game. But I just feel like the Seahawks have been such a complete roster this whole playoffs. They've had a harder schedule, and I personally think their offense is better. I will say Drake May, in my opinion, is better than Sam Darnold. So the Patriots do have the quarterback advantage, but the Seahawks have the running back advantage. They have the wide receiver advantage. They have the tight end advantage because their tight end's not too bad. AJ Barner, I think he's pretty good. Actually, it could be a 50-50, honestly. Hunter Henry's pretty solid as well, so both teams have solid tight ends. And where the Patriots roster really starts to get sketchy is their offensive line. Their offensive line is not good. They have Will Campbell, but that's about it. And the Seahawks O-line's really good. When it comes to defense, the Seahawks, in my opinion, have the better defense. The Patriots defense isn't bad. I'm not saying that, but I think the Seahawks defense is better. I think the Seahawks D-line is going to get after Drake May a lot just because of the Patriots' bad offensive line and the Seahawks' great secondary that they have. So I think that's going to be going into the Seahawks' favor. I think the kicker on the Seahawks, I think it's still, pretty sure it's still Jason Myers. I mean, I haven't heard anything about him, which is a good thing because you don't want to hear about your kickers because that means they're messing up. I think he's better than the Patriots kicker. I know his name, but I can't think of it off the top of his head. It's some kind of tongue twister. I don't think he's that good of a kicker. So I think the Seahawks have the advantage there. And as for head coach, I think this is tough. I think I would have to go with Mike Vrabel just because of how far the Patriots have come this season. But at the same time, I think this is where their storybook ending ends. I don't think they actually win this game. I think it would be an unbelievable story to have Drake May, the second-year quarterback, coming in, almost winning MVP, and then winning the Super Bowl, and for Mike Vrabel too as the first-year head coach. It would be something. But the Seahawks are something too. I'm not going to pretend like their story isn't unbelievable as well. I mean, they have Sam Darnold, who has been pretty bad for most of his career, but then last season he went 14-3 and had a solid season with the Vikings, and they got rid of him because of his last two games. Then he went to the Seahawks, and they got the 1 seed, and he's 2-0 in the playoffs this year, putting, I think, his total record at 2-1. So good for Sam Darnold. I mean, this is an unbelievable turnaround for his career. I think both of these teams have really shaped around their rosters brilliantly. The Patriots, it wasn't looking great after Tom Brady. They had a couple of bad years, but it looks like they're here to stay with Drake May and Mike Vrabel. And I mean, those are the two most important positions in football, the head coach and the quarterback. And the Seahawks, they have such an unbelievable roster. And I mean, Sam Darnold is most likely the guy too. I mean, I couldn't imagine they get rid of him after this year. I mean, he has been a phenomenal quarterback. And Mike Macdonald looks like a really great head coach too. So they pretty much got their quarterback and head coach figured out, along with having such an elite roster around them. So, both of these teams are set up for future success. So, even if the Seahawks lose, I mean, I still don't think it would be that shocking. I think either team could win this game. And I think it's really awesome that we finally get a Super Bowl that doesn't have the Chiefs in it. Patriots, they had their own little dynasty going on before the Chiefs dynasty started, but this is a new Patriots roster. It's not like it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman, all that. It's completely new, and I can't wait to see how they play in the Super Bowl. And as for the Seahawks, it's a new roster too. It's not Russell Wilson. No Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Pete Carroll. It's Mike McDonald, Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, JSN, who arguably might be the best wide receiver in the NFL. So I'm really excited to see him play as well. This is going to be one hell of a Super Bowl. If you watch the Super Bowl for the commercials or the halftime show or the game itself, you're going to have some fun. It's the biggest sporting event of the year, and it's my favorite sporting event of the year just because of how much hype is surrounding it. I really can't wait for this. It's going to be an awesome Super Bowl. And this is kind of weird because normally I like to have these videos be a little longer, but when you're only talking about one game, there's only so much you can say. And I've said about all that I can think of to say. I mean, it's going to be a great Super Bowl. And if you're watching it with friends or family, hopefully you have fun doing that. And hopefully you guys don't get too hyped up and get yourselves in the hospital or anything like that. But I think that'd be extremely unlikely. I appreciate you guys. Those of you who stuck around for all my videos, I really appreciate it. I'll take this time. This is my final prediction video of the year for this NFL season. And it's bittersweet day. It's the Super Bowl, and I love the Super Bowl, but at the same time, the NFL is going to be gone for a while, and that's gonna suck for NFL junkies like myself, and probably some of you if you're watching these videos. But it is what it is. It was a great NFL season. I think it's one of the best NFL seasons I've ever seen. I know it kind of sounds like I say that every single year, but this one, I mean it. Like, this season was awesome. I mean, yeah, I'm a little disappointed that the Broncos couldn't be in this game, but the fact that they were even as close as they were to getting into this game, I mean, I can't ask for more. I mean, we got a bright future. Both these teams have a bright future. The Chiefs are out of the playoffs. I mean, that is alone makes this season unbelievable. I mean, this is literally the first season I started watching football where the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs, because I started watching in 2018. And they've literally won the AFC West every single year except for this year. So, as a Chiefs hater, I'm sure you guys know how much I hate the Chiefs. And seeing them not be in this game is awesome. And I'm glad it's not. I'm glad it's two relatively new teams, too. And when I say new, I mean new, like, new regimes and stuff. Obviously, the Patriots had their dynasty and everything, but, like, it's not like it's still that same team. It's a different team. So that's something to look forward to. Good. The Patriots, I mean, they're going to need it against a team like the Seahawks just because I think the Seahawks are a great team. And I think their roster is so unbelievable top to bottom. I mean, there's no real flaw in their roster. So, you can't really do any better than that. I mean, it's just, they're a pretty likable team too. I mean, no one on that team seems like a diva. And it's going to be one of the better Super Bowls in my opinion. I can't wait for it. And I'll see you guys after the Super Bowl. Peace out.